Brussels has taken direct aim at American technology giants, delivering a major regulatory blow to Silicon Valley. European regulators issued a penalty against Google, accusing the search giant of favoring its own internal services over competitors in search results. Al Jazeera highlights the scale of the fine at roughly $1 billion, while The Guardian specifies the figure at about €890 million. This action is not an isolated incident. European officials have repeatedly penalized major American firms, including Apple, Meta Platforms, and Amazon, in an ongoing effort to strictly enforce antitrust laws and curb market dominance within the European single market. The response from Washington was immediate and aggressive, turning regulatory enforcement into an international trade dispute. Posting on Truth Social, President Donald Trump accused European officials of effectively robbing American companies and taxpayers. As CNBC reports, Trump expressed outrage over the accumulated penalties against Apple, Meta, Amazon, and Google. The Guardian notes that the administration threatened the European Union with additional and substantial tariffs in retaliation. By framing European regulatory fines as direct financial theft from the United States, Washington has signaled that digital legal enforcement will now be met with direct economic retaliation against European exports. This clash with Brussels unfolds alongside a broader global expansion of American protectionism. Washington, overnight, replaced expiring trade measures with a new round of tariffs impacting more than 80 countries. While the BBC reports that a 10% levy on Scotch whisky was successfully lifted following diplomatic engagements, other sectors face mounting costs. Al Jazeera highlights that small American businesses are already challenging forced labor tariffs in court, targeting restrictions placed on roughly 60 nations. These legal and commercial friction points demonstrate how quickly weaponized tariffs are reshaping international commerce, leaving businesses across multiple continents struggling to navigate unpredictable economic penalties. What mainstream coverage frequently underplays is how digital antitrust policy and traditional trade warfare are now irreversibly intertwined. Reporting often treats European tech penalties and global tariff escalations as separate stories. However, fusing tech regulation with physical trade retaliation creates a dangerous feedback loop. FIN is aimed at digital algorithms now to directly trigger tariffs on physical goods, punishing non-tech industries for European legal rulings. This systemic friction occurs alongside severe global supply disruptions, such as oil, surging to roughly $100 per barrel after Red Sea tanker attacks. Transatlantic economic policy is being destabilized precisely when global markets require regulatory predictability. The collision between European regulatory law and American economic retaliation marks a turning point in global trade relations. Brussels shows no indication of backing down from its aggressive antitrust enforcement against Silicon Valley giants. At the same time, Washington has established a precedent of using broad tariff threats to defend domestic corporate interests abroad. As trade barriers expand to affect dozens of countries, the traditional rulebook for international commerce is being rewritten. Silicon Valley now sits directly at the center of transatlantic diplomacy, where everyday legal compliance in Europe can instantly spark full-scale economic warfare across the Atlantic Ocean.